Welcome to part 3 of the low poly stylized gun modding tutorial. In this one, we're going to be wrapping up the modeling of the gun, getting it finished. Yeah, so just hop straight in. All right. Let's hop straight back in. So, the first thing that we are going to get done is getting more detail in here because that's kind of what we need to be doing. I don't know, yeah. Cool. Let's just start off over here on the front. So you can see here, we kind of have like a little bit of indent. So I'm just going to go inset, push it forward, just go like G-Y. We can just go inset and just go extrude that in. Cool. And we could actually very easily do that little detail. I. So we'll just Alt left click to select it. I might just go add edge group here. So Control R. And then we can just go I again, like that. And then just extrude inwards. You see that? Cool. And then we can also go take this edge. So, whatever. Cool. So we're gonna have to actually manually select all of these. That. I'm going to scale that down a little bit, and then we can grab this inside edge and just pull it back. So that just kind of bevels it without having to actually add in more edges. Cool. And yeah, quick little bit of detail. For the top little thingy, I'm just going to shift A, mesh, cube, scale this down all the way, something like that. Not aligned on the x-axis, so go atom, so N for side panel, X, set it to 0. I'm going to push it down a little bit, push it forward. Cool. And then we can just go take this, push it backwards, so something to like there, and then push that back. Control R to add edge group, and then just extrude that back. So extrude up, so go press Y, SY 0, that's flat. Cool. Don't know how thin we need to make this, but yeah, we can obviously change that. Doesn't even line up, whatever, but yeah. Cool. And then whatever this is supposed to be on the bottom. So we can just go, again, add a cube. Actually, I'm just going to Shift S, cursor to origin. We can also go Alt G to reset the mesh or back to the center, just so we know that's back aligned in the middle, because we are always working without like actual in the center of the scene. Cool. So we can bring it to there. We can also pull this whole thing down. So we go to like there, and we can go add edge in the middle. So let's just go to like grab all of these. So I'm going to go face select, grab these two bottom ones. Vertex select, grab the middle edge, and then just pull everything down to like there. And then these two can just get pushed up a little bit like that. You see? So now it's kind of following. Okay. And then we could have actually just rounded it. So do there. Just kind of get a semi-consistent thickness. Might just go push it even further up. And if we're going to do that, we can also go like scale X, you see like this. So it kind of follows more of the shape, or we can just leave it like this. Cool. So there, go add like an edge group like that, and I'm just going to go extrude this up and just pull this forward like that. Cool. Yep. And then I'm just going to go add a circle, and then I'm just going to move this over. Probably go low, go 6 vertices because it's going to be pretty small. R, Y, 90. Go pull it over here. And then we can just go GX, push that over. So remember, vertex select, extrude X. F to fill, and I'm just going to go inset and extrude. Okay. Shift N to recalculate normals. And then we can just go position it. We can even pull it slightly down and then just go push it all the way in. So GX like that. We could also just go add an edge like that. And then take this, extrude, scale, Shift X. Yeah, like that. And then I'm just going to go delete these vertices. Cool. So you see, just like a little, just go pull it out. It's kind of like sitting on the outside, has that little extra bit of detail. Cool. Then we go add modifier mirror, and we can go add it there. I might go scale Shift X like that. And then just make sure we don't, it's not like going too it's close in or whatever, so it's not actually showing up. Okay, and I might just go take this edge, or just go Shift A, circle again. Same vertice counts, and we can just go here, go extrude out, extrude Z, F to fill, R to insert, and we can just go extrude. I might take that, I can make it smaller. Scale Shift Z. So 3 face select, Alt left click to select it, scale Shift Z, match that. It would be kind of cool to go actually cut in the shape, but oh well, it's fine. Make it a bit shorter, something like that. Yeah, looks nice. Okay, cool. Let's get some more detail on this because it's not looking great. So I'm going to add an edge loop. We can actually, with the edge loop, we can go E for even, and you see, so now it matches the top, and F to flip, and now it matches the bottom. And the bottom is flat. We could also just obviously enter and go SZ0 if you wanted. Cool. So I'm going to push this down, and then I'm going to go grab all of these faces like this. Go extrude out. Okay. And maybe scale on the X a bit. Cool. And then these edges, I'm just going to edge slide it in like that. Okay. And then select everything M by distance. It did on this side as well because I have the X mirror up on the top right corner. But you see that. So that adds that little piece. We could go add like the cuts, but I'm probably not going to do, obviously, because of low poly. We can add that in detail later. Cool. There. And I think the adding the cut will look good. So I'll also make this a bit taller. So there. And then also these little rivets is probably going to help. So let's just go take these edges, line it up like this. And then, yeah, same thing. So now it's all squared off. And then we can go knife tool. We can even just go inset. So we just take these. R to inset. I again for individual. I would not to turn individual off. And then, whatever. Yeah, cool. So let's push it up to there. And then it should be good. So from here, we can go push that in and push this across like that. And then this is going to be there. Delete this vertice. Okay. And then we can also take these. We'll just take one of them. Or we can actually just get rid of this edge. Yeah. I think at this point, let me just go add edge loop down the center. And then delete the left side. X vertices. And add a mirror modifier. Like that. Okay. Just so we can know it's going to be mirrored across. So I might just I'm going to get rid of this edge. Okay. And then this edge we can use to kind of do the same thing we did before where it almost bevels it like that. And then same thing here. So push that up. And then that might look fun, or we might have to do something like there. Okay. Let me just go extrude in and then push it into like there and then just delete the face like that. Okay. Or we can keep it filled. Yep, you see, so that looks cool. And yeah, should all be decent. Nice. And then, yeah, so we can even like probably duplicate these. Is that what we want? We could even just go select these X vertices, just top it, F to fill. We can even go M at center. So now it's just like that. And then GX. And then scale it down. So like that. We could even just go push this out to GX like that. I just beveled it, so yeah, I'll actually keep it something like this. Cool. And then same thing, we can duplicate it to here. And then whatever this other piece is. Let me just duplicate this, scale it up. And then I think I'm just going to push this inwards to see how that looks. Cool. Yeah, and then we could even push this in a little bit. I was going to say we could kind of like layer it almost. We could even also just scale this down. So when we scale, it's not going to actually look that nice. You see it's kind of stretched and stuff. But what we can do is we can inset slightly. So we inset it like this. Then we grab this edge and then G twice to edge slide. Or we can even just go dissolve edges. You see there. So now we got like a nicer inset like that. Cool. Yeah, don't think we need to merge. You're all good. And then what I might do is also just go actually cut the shape. So we can go front view, K for the nav tool. Or actually we can just go edge loop. No, let's use the nav tool. So here, K for nav tool, A, so angle. We could even just go like there, and then like cut there, turn angle off, then I'll just turn back on, and trace this, and then trace that. Okay, press enter. Cool. And then we can probably simplify these. So let's just go nav tool to here, and then this can actually just be merged in. Or let's go, yeah, so J for there. Merge those two together. Not that it's going to matter because we're going to delete these faces anyway. So, yeah. And we could even do, no, we need that face right there. But yeah, so we have this. Let's just go select all these vertices. And we actually need to go, yep. So top view, K for nav tool, and then to press A to go all the way along, like that. Okay. And then just go delete all the faces up here. And then we can just go, we can even go use the short selection thing. Actually, I'm going to go, so hold control to see, just, I'm going to grab one other than the top, just so we don't have any vertices like overlapping. Extrude it back like this, extrude Y, like that, okay? And then from here, we can literally just go, if we have an edge, yeah, I'm going to add one, control R, actually not control R, scale Y0, just to flatten it, GY to line it up, and then yeah, you can see you can just grab his face, grab this one, F to fill. We need one more edge, so there, control R, line it up like that. So you can see, let me just go forward slash to make a local view so you actually see here. So there, cool. And then what we can do is, I mean, it's really not going to matter, not going to be able to see it. So we can just go here. I'm just going to extrude this out to here. And then this can go extrude X. We don't have clipping on for some reason. So I'm just going to turn that on. So now we can go merge. These will fill these faces, fill those two. And then same thing here. So F. Just go add the edge loop. So we get, like, if you can fill it in vertically like this, then it works. So that as well. And then, yep, we're all good. So let's go S at 0, line it up. Nice. And then I'm just going to line these up here. Okay. And we could actually probably get rid of this edge, because I don't think we need it. I think it's supposed to be a straight line anyway. Or actually, to go the other way. And then this edge can just go edge start up. And then M by distance. Forward slash to go back to normal view. Okay. And then I think I want to bevel this edge. So let's go bevel like that. Might actually be nice to bevel all the edges. So let's just grab these three. Control B. Ooh. Why did this one? Ah, there we go. So we need to select this whole thing. I think we probably need to add an edge loop. Or we go here and just edge slide that into a triangle right there. M by distance. Cool. Also, hopefully that doesn't mess up our bevel too much. So it does. Oh wait, we haven't selected all the way in. That's why. So yep. Cool. There we go. That works. So Control B. Okay. So there. Yep. I think that looks cool. We'll probably also do this front edge. So just bevel that. Yep. Looks pretty good. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. And if you want, we can also do a similar thing where we can even just go grab this face right here and then just go G, Y, just so it kind of looks like it's not over the entire thing, if you get what I mean. So it looks like it's actually clamping on top of it. Cool. Looking pretty good. Nice. Okay, one thing I wanted to do was Oh, we didn't actually do a triangle. Yeah, I was gonna say if we had an edge going along here, we could kind of like push it out to kind of give it a little bit of extra detail. But fine. So yeah, so like we need a little box over there. So let's go Shift A cube, and then line it up here. Scale it down. GX, push it in. Scale Y, so something like this should be good. Okay, and then we can go duplicate, probably this one. Place it here, push it out. Let's turn off our mirror because we're not. I don't think we're gonna mirror this. Cool. And then Shifty, Y, scale Z, like this. We can actually use a mirror for. So we're gonna mirror, and then set the mirror object to the cube, and we set it to Z. Okay, see? So now it's like working like that. Cool. So let's go push these in, and I might do the same thing before. So X vertices F, and then just push it out on the X-axis like that. Cool. Yep. Nice. Actually pushing the wrong axis. GX. Cool. Okay. And then from here, we need to add a cable, which we'll do later. So I'm going to duplicate this and chuck it over here. So you can also rotate these so they're not like at the like preset angle kind of thing. Mirror. Yep. Cool. Yep. Nice. Let's get this little piece done real quick. Also, I wanted to shorten, we'll just scale this down because we changed the thickness of this. I think also might have messed around with the bevel. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually keep the bevel, but yeah. Because I think it doesn't really match the rest of the mesh. We could even just add bevels on like, similar to what we did on the other piece, and do bevels on like edges like that. Which will make it match closer, but yeah. So that, and yeah, so Shift A, circle, let's make it like 8. Just slightly higher resolution. Cool. And then R90, push this out, scale it down, and then place it here. So let's go GX, hold control for the snapping. And yep, we good. Move it over. F, extrude out, scale it down a little bit. So kind of just like taper it out. We could also do kind of like a, so kind of we do to like there, and then we go taper it like there, which might be a bit more of a interesting shape than just a straight taper. And then from there we can go select this, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, mesh cube, scale down, GY, like that. Select this, GY, push it all the way over, like that, and then pull it out. So I don't know if I'm going to have it go all the way to the base or not, so you could just use the snapping if you wanted to go there. I think it actually makes sense. I might have to make this shorter, actually. So I'm going to scale X. Because we have the origin at the base, I can just scale X like this to get whatever I need. GX. Cool. And then we can go to like there. I'm just going to go take these two edges and go bevel. Cool. And then I might just go see if we can do... No. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these two faces, J to join, and then just GX like that. No. I think that will be a more interesting shape. So there, I just beveled it around that edge. I'm going to go GY, push that out like that. And I might just, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to push this all the way out like that. Or I'm going to inset like there, and then push this out. Because that, it just kind of seemed like too big of a, like a big face. That was kind of too simple almost. I don't know how to get that to work properly. Or actually, to undo this, what we can try is we need, well, let's just go Control R, or we can go just nav tool A, C to cut like that, and then we can go X vertices, select this, Shift S cursor selected. So now if we select everything and set our pivot point to the 3D cursor, we can go Shift D to duplicate, escape to leave it in position, control, we can just go S, X, or Y, no, not 0, -1, like that. Okay, so now it's mirrored. You can see the normals are all incorrect, so Shift N, M by distance. So now we merged all the vertices, and then we got that. I think that actually works. So you see here, like, if we just keep flat, but now because we have this other side that looks actually interesting, it kind of works together. Nice. Okay, cool. And yeah, let's see what else we can do. Let's get this little piece in. So Shift A, cube. Set our pivot point back to median point. So scale this down like that. And then I'm going to push this up, GZ, and then scale up, go GX. So there you go, snaps it in, and then push that in like that. Cool. And then we can just go add an edge loop, and then we could just go Control B like this, and then just add an edge loop in the middle. Actually, you know what we can do? Select these two, J and J, and then take these GX, push it back like that. Cool. You see there, that's easier. And then we can go push that in maybe like that. Okay, and maybe, or we just go take both edges and bevel them like this. Yep. Okay, and then we could even go like pull it out slightly. So do something like that, and then just go like inset, scale Z, or scale like Y like that, and extrude it in. Just to kind of, I found that when we just stick it like directly on the surface, it doesn't look as nice as if you actually go like stand it off and make it a little bit more sense in 3D space. Be cool to add a channel, but like for it to actually go through. And we could just do that by going R to inset and just go push this down. So something like there, G Y, G Z, G Y, like this. Okay, and we can even push it out further. You see here, and extrude that in, and then make this sure this is deep enough to match. You see there. Then now it has like the spot to match it. We can just go push that back a little bit, so it's like there. You see there? So they just had like tiny little detail. You can just go bevel that edge if you wanted, like that. But yeah, so that did not work at all. But oh, cool. Yep, looking nice. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, cool. So hopefully today we can get the little gun like ammo thing detailed, and also you can just add this cable. So cable, pretty easy. Let's hop straight in and get that done. So first thing I'm going to do is Shift A, curve Bezier. Okay, so you see here, this is what we get. So firstly, I'm going to go rotate and push it like here. Okay, and then let's grab the endpoint. So we can take this, and I'm going to use, instead of rotating, so like, I actually pull up my rule. So instead of rotating like this, I can go R twice. You see there, I can kind of like push it up like that. Or I could just go, yep, and then just make sure it's kind of like vertical. So I'm going to go roughly in the center. So like that. Okay. And then we can take this, line it up. So there. And I can go right click or W. I'm not sure what it is normally. I kind of rebound my stuff. So there. And then the bottom right, set my cuts to 2 for now. So let's see. This one needs to go like down. We can take this point and push it out. You see how it changes the curve of it. So like there. Okay, and then this one, we need to kind of push it out like that. So you can go there, scale up maybe. Okay, and then see with some thickness. So we go select it, go to the curve panel, and then we can go geometry, and then bring up the bevel, or the depth. Okay, and then we can take this and then just extrude down like that. We'll delete the extra geometry later. So yeah, we can drop the resolution preview, and we can also go right click, shade flat. Okay, so you can see what it is, and then the resolution also here. So we can make it 1, which will go to 6 vertices, or we can make it 0, which will go to 4 vertices, which is a cube. So I'm going to leave it on 1 for the 6 vertices. Okay, and you can set the resolution preview accordingly to however you want. Now, this is also based on the distance between each edge. So bear in mind that like if you have one section that's going to be like this long, and then like there, and then like there, and maybe there, um, it'll be that varying. So you can even, if you clump them together for the corners, then you'll get more detail on those. And then the straight pieces, you can like leave them bigger gaps and then it'll look better. Or you can, you can subdivide it, and you see that that gives you the extra detail. And you can also like scale each one as you want. X dissolve vertices to go really get rid of that. So let's see if I can actually make this a bit better. So I think maybe just push it out like that. Maybe it kind of just looks like it's falling down. And then I might just grab this whole thing. I think, yeah, select box, and then just push that forward. Okay. Then from here, we can go F3, apply, or just go convert. Actually, we can just go Control A and Visual Geometry to Mesh. Or you can go Object, Convert to Mesh. Okay. So here, I'm just going to go push this back a little bit. So there. And then I'm going to go Extrude, Scale, Extrude Y, like that. And then I guess we can do the same thing here. So let's just go delete all of these. So let's just go select these X vertices. Take this, extrude scale. Actually, let's go, yep, SZ0, flatten it. And then we can just go extrude Z. We can also, if you want, we can go select these like this. And then go proportional editing, change it back to probably like smooth. And you can see I changed the proportion right there. So push it up like that, and then give it like more of a curve like this. Okay, and then we'll affect that right there. So we can take these SZ0 again to flatten them. Yeah, you see that's just a bit more of a natural curve. You can even use the sculpt tools. So we just go here, sculpt mode, and then I think this is the grab brush. Which one's grab? Alright, just press G on your keyboard, and then yeah, your radius, your strength, and then just use it to kind of like shift around the sides of everything. You can even kind of use it to try repair some of them. But yeah, so F4, the brush size, you can change that. So we can just use it to quickly change the shape of it. But yeah, I think that looks pretty decent. And you can also even go through and delete edges or dissolve the edges if you think there are too many. But yeah, cool. So I think there. We can also go Alt S to bring up the thickness of it. It might mess up these end bits. Actually, I think what we can do, Alt S, you see that it's not really changing that, but I think offset even might kind of fix it a little bit. Maybe, so we can go here, GY, scale it up to like there. Okay, yep, same thing. So select this, and then so I'm using the little thing on top of my keyboard to pull up this menu, so I can go view selected and actually see them. Go GZ, actually I'm going to take this SZ0 again. Okay. Like that should be good. Cool. One thing I noticed, like literally right now, or I think earlier as well, was we didn't mirror this. So let's go add a mirror, set this to be the gun. There you go. Nice. And then I also wanted to kind of have, so you see they kind of just have these little tabs, quite like. So let's actually go object, set origin to geometry. So that's actually in the center. Shift S, cursor to selected, and add in a cube. So here, and we can just go scale all X like this. And then we can go, let's just go push it in like that. Okay. So like that. can go mirror, and then mirror, set it to the thing, set it to the y-axis, and then we can even try, we can just add it on the mirror, and then set it to be the base. There we go. Yeah, cool. Yeah, just a small little detail, and we good. Okay. Cool. So the first thing I noticed with this is we can go actually get these joined together. I know there's a way. Actually, I saw a video recently of how to get this to snap together. I think so. Let's go here. Add edge group GX or GY like this. Control R GY. That did not snap at all. What's going on? GY. There we go. Cool. And then what I think we can do is, or I think we can just go. Actually, we don't need to do that. We need to go select these two faces. R to insert, and then just take these two, because obviously we can line them up with this, GY, select these two, GY, GY, there we go, cool, that lines up, and then from here, okay, so seems like what we do is we go select these two, go Control J to join them, and then I'm just going to go delete these two faces, X faces, and then we can take this up. I think it was also a face at the bottom, so X faces again. Let's push this up like here, and we can go Control R here, and I think these can go line up, and then with here we can go to this little thing right here. We turn it on, and we go here, and we go split edges and faces, and yeah, should be good. So we go GZ, push it down, and then you see here it goes and adds a vertex right there. So we can do that with everything. So just basically just bring them down like that. Okay, so you see now it adds the vertices, and we can go select these two, J, and here X faces. Okay, also this, what is this face? No, oh, we go here. So J, and then J. I think we have to select the center one, select this one, and J. You see now we can actually delete these bottom faces. Yeah, cool. Same thing other side. So we select this face, and then we select this side. So actually did merge. Oh, no, it didn't. So there, there. You just get that vertex there. You see that. So this is the one that's connected to this piece, not the other piece. Okay, and then same thing. So here, or yeah, that one. So you see it's the one that goes down and connects to this vertex. J, and then we can get rid of these faces. Gotcha. Okay, and then we go M by distance, and we can actually just go snap these vertices in like this. This one actually just bring it back up like that, and then like that. Cool, and you see that. So now we are got a perfect merge. Not that it mattered because we just eyeballed it, but oh well, it's fun. You have now learned something new. Because I haven't actually used it in practice before. Cool. So right here, we can take this face right there. We could also just go mirror this. So I'm going to select these two like that. J. Actually, just not do that. Let's just do one at a time. J and J. I haven't used this before, but yeah, so you can get edit or mirror. So just an add-on you have to enable. You might have to go to the extensions. You might have to do it in just a normal add-ons tab. Not 100% sure, but yeah. So go there, and then as mirrored. So yeah, we just go art insert, and we can just go extrude inwards like this, and then go X faces, and then we can add the detail in there later. Cool. If you want to, we could add edge group and then just extrude that down, just so we can control the thickness of it as you want. So for this, we can also just go X versus faces FZ0, and then just go push it up as far as you want. Cool. And then we fill in the faces like this. Take these vertices. So let me just go / you can see it here. Just take these vertices, just edge slide them in. M by distance. Actually, I think it's auto merging them for me now. what even is this? Yeah, automotion vertices. Let me turn the split edges of the faces off. But yeah, cool. So we can go forward slash, bring everything back. Nice. And what we can do real quick, mesh circle, set this to 6. And then we're going to go RY90, RX90, there we go. Scale down, tab edit mode, extrude Y, so making a bullet right now. We don't even know if we might even need the end, so we can just go like that. So Shift N, and then we can just go push that in like that. Scale Shift Y to scale up the thickness, and then we just go array modifier, or we can just go Shifty Z like that, and then we can just go. We can actually mirror this, so go mirror. There, we can go copy to selected, so now it does both of them. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, and then to recap, we can just go. It's fun. So, see what we want to do with this. We could take these and like inset, press B for boundary, scale inwards, scale Y, like that. That goes and like separates it a bit. Cool. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what else I would even want to do to it. It might even just be fine like that. And we can add any extra stuff later. But yeah, cool. I think that's pretty decent. What else do we need to add? Okay, cool. I think, yeah, so we go Shift A, cube, go Alt G, so it's back in the center. We just go Shift S, goes to origin again. So, yeah, scales down, G, Y. We can go push that up. I'm going to go Control R, push that down like that. And then same thing here. So scale up, also scale it in slightly like this. Let's do it best to kind of like line it up with the kind of angle of the circle bit. Okay. Nice. And then push that out if you want. And we can just go grab that, go flatten out that piece right there. Cool. Yeah, something like that. Maybe even bring it in a bit more and then just push these down. So we go Alt left click, cool. Yeah. So there. And we can try see if we round out the bottom. We can also push that out. Not a huge fan of it, but oh well. You kind of just mess around and see what works and what doesn't. Nice. Yeah, cool. I think I'm going to leave it off there. See you next one. And there we are. Again, links in the description. Links down below for all the resources. Go hop in the Discord if you want to get feedback on your model or you have any questions for the tutorials. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one, which should be linked up here when it releases, or just grab the whole playlist link down below, or that should be the playlist right there. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.